I would love you to take me through focus groups. What is the focus group feature in Electric Twin? How does it work?
Yeah, so a focus group in classic market research is a small group of people that you can have a conversation with, and we've replicated that in our product. So you can talk to our synthetic audiences in small groups in a conversational style, and the added benefit is you don't have to recruit them. They last as long as you like, they never get tired. So I'm going to start out by just asking around footwear, is it acceptable to wear sandals in the office? And I'll get that result super quickly.
So could you literally ask any question to an audience, from the sort of very important to the very silly? Like, is there any limit?
There's no limit. So we have all sorts of fun in the office playing around with different things. We have asked whether which area of London is the coolest from the ones we live in. And you can do everything from ask about what price people might want to buy a product at, to what marketing message they are going to resonate the most with, to general attitudinal questions,
Best football team?
Best football team, and that's one of Harry's favourites. I steer away from that one at the moment. We've got a result of people who think it's acceptable to wear sandals in the office.
What is it?
It's 43 to 56 people yes to no. So I'm very intrigued by these yes people, because I am sceptical that it's acceptable to wear sandals in the office. And I'm going to understand why they think that. And we could do that in a focus group. So we'll build out that group.
What do you think, before seeing the result, what do you think is going to come back? What sorts of people do you think are those people?
My guess is they work in very informal settings, or maybe like outdoorsy jobs, something like this. Or maybe they work from home, so it's not quite as appropriate. Or they just don't care as much about other people's opinions.
Do you think they're younger?
I'm not sure, actually.
Because you would assume sort of conservative attitudes, sort of, my father would always wear shoes to the office, he would never wear sandals to the office.
Yeah. Possible that they're younger. We'll find out. Okay, so I can grab my office sandal enthusiasts and I can ask them. And so as I'm doing that, I'll have a panel that is randomly sampled from that segment I just created. And we have a range of different people here, different age groups, so 45 to 55, 35 to 44, and in different regions of the UK as well, different income brackets, etc. And I can ask, why do you think it's acceptable to wear sandals in the office? And I'll get that conversational feedback with them, and they can talk to each other as well, so they respond to each other like you would in a real world focus group.
How do you make them talk to each other? How do they disagree with each other?
They literally see each other's messages as you would in a conversation, right? So if you're in a room with people, they all hear each other's conversations, and it's really interesting to hear how people react to each other. You can actually learn a lot from that, like things that one person says might trigger thoughts in other people. And so you get this like wide space of opinion that if you're just thinking yourself, you might not uncover.
I guess you never get, or everybody always gets heard.
Yes, everyone always gets heard. This is one benefit of synthetic over real world, where in real world, if there's someone who's very talkative, it can be hard to guide the conversation so that everyone gets their voice heard. And, that's not a problem with synthetic audiences. We can make sure that everyone gets their opinion across.
So what have we got here?
So here we have, so long as there's no client-facing or no safety concern, there's no issue. It's
safety concern?
Yeah, there we go. I hadn't thought about that one. I quite like Persona 3, who said it feels like outdated footwear police, to be honest. Let me just hover over and see who they are. So 45 to 55-year-old female living in Yorkshire, sharing accommodation with housemates. I'm going to ask her what her job is. And I'm very curious to see what we come out with. Maybe it's a standard office job, like the Electric Twin offices, and it's fine to just wear sandals.
Just Northern England is different to London.
Maybe. They're a bit harder up there. Working admin for a logistics company. Okay, so standard office job, casual attire in the office is fine. So I'm going to ask them how they define a sandal. Maybe this is also a difference. Maybe for women it's different as well. Maybe sandals are more acceptable
Worse
for
for
women.
men.
I think worse for men. Oh, we can ask them this as well. So I'm asking them how they define a sandal. So anything open-toed with straps to hold your foot, not flimsy flip-flops. They need a proper strap or a buckle. And I'm going to ask everyone, do you think this is different for women and men?
Yes. I reckon yes. Is it going to be different?
I think it'll be different. Yeah, women can get away with strappy heels or peep-toe shoes.
There you
I think
go.
that checks out. Yeah. But a bloke in sandals, people act like he's lost the plot. Okay. I do really like listening to reading these conversations. Like, we hear from customers a lot that the verbatim quotes that come out reflect things that they've heard from customers in the real world, and it really does reflect what people think. And we put a lot of effort into how we evaluate the accuracy of this. So with a survey, you can hold out questions in the survey and then measure our model against that. It's slightly harder with qualitative, but the way we do it is turn the answers into survey questions, and then we can measure the topics that get raised and make sure that they check out with what the real survey questions would be. And it's reflected in the product now. People are reporting to us that they sound like their customers. They're raising topics that their customers raise, which is super exciting. I think it's very hard to do this well, and we're getting to the point now where we're confident that you can rely on this.
That's amazing.
Okay, so once I've had my conversation about sandals and uncovered this idea that it's different for women and men, I can check out the summary. And so I can see the executive summary of what was discussed, some key quotes, and the cross-cutting themes, and then save. And I can follow up with other questions if I like.
Very cool.